George Orwell saw all of this coming. Hi, Paul Krugman with an update at about noon on Sunday. Uh, like everyone paying any attention, I'm very focused on the war, and which is going badly, and it's enough that I'm a little concerned about how it's going to disrupt daily life, even for those of us who are, by most measures, extremely insulated from all of that. This is looking really, really bad. How did this happen? Now, we talk a lot about the specifics of Trump, and we talk about the motivations of people involved, but what is really striking, gets all of us, is how utterly, utterly unprepared the administration was for the kind of obviously, at least possible, consequences of going to war in the Persian Gulf. So how could they have been so blind? Well, if you look at what the rhetoric that Donald Trump uses and continues to use, even in the face of all of this, one thing that always strikes you is how he continues to insist that everything is going great and everything is going according to plan. So just on Thursday, he said, once again, I think he's used the words, exactly the same words, many occasions, but he said in a speech, inflation is plummeting, incomes are rising, the economy is roaring back, and America is respected again. Now, as we all point out, none of that is true. Inflation is not plummeting. In fact, the latest numbers show it ticking up, which was not what people expected before Trump took office. The economy is definitely not roaring back. Now, the last growth numbers were probably artificially weak because of the effects of the shutdown, but it's not a roaring economy. Job growth has been virtually zero for the past year, so this is not a great economy. And this persistent delusion that America is now respected because Trump is there, which I'm probably going to write about that, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but is utterly, utterly not true. Of all the things he just said, that's probably the most at odds with reality. We have probably never been as despised, held in contempt as we are right now. But what strikes me about all of this is that Trump has been able to keep peddling this fantasy about how well things are going on his watch. And although polls say that the public isn't buying it, the consequences for this kind of delusional thinking have been, for him so far, pretty minimal. It's kind of you can keep on claiming that things are going great, and certainly nobody immediately around him is going to tell him that it ain't so. And so I found myself thinking about an essay of George Orwell's. Now I've read a lot of Orwell over the years, and there are many great Orwell writings. It's not just 1984 and Animal Farm, but he had an essay just written shortly after World War II ended called In Front of Your Nose, about people's capacity to delude themselves. And there was a line in there in which he talked about this, how even when things are very much not what you said was going to happen, you can keep on telling yourself, particularly, of course, if you're a person in power, a person surrounded by sycophants, which we're seeing at a drastic level for Trump, that you can just keep on telling yourself lies about how things are going, maybe even persuade some people to believe them until at some point you can't. And here's the line from Orwell. He said, "The point is that we are all capable of believing things which we know to be untrue, and then, when we are finally proved wrong, impudently twisting the facts so as to show that we were right. Intellectually, it is possible to carry on this process for an indefinite time. The only check on it is that sooner or later a false belief bumps up against solid reality, usually on a battlefield. I think I'm just going to leave it there.